If you are someone with ambitions in your life, you must go through this specific period. You know what I'm talking about. That period of your life where you have no friends, you are doing the same routines and training every day, you are sleeping early, waking up early, and no one seems to vibe with you anymore. It's a period where nothing goes right. You're anxious whether you're going to achieve what you set out for. And you sometimes feel so fucking bored that temptations lurk in every corner of your life. But most importantly, you kept pushing. If you are going through this phase in your journey, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, man. It will be the toughest moment that you will experience, but it will be the most important and rewarding moments of your life. This small phase of absolute abyss will be what shapes you. How you handle this phase will determine the person you become. As they all say, hard times changes people, either for the better or the worse. I just graduated from high school last year, and because my college starts in July this year, I was the only guy in class who has to take what's called a gap year. So all my friends went to college, made new friends, they'd party and take road trips and do all the fun shit. And I'm just here at home. I did apply for an internship at a company to, develop some skills, but being the only 18 years old in there, I spent most of my times alone. Every time I open Instagram and see my friends posting stories about partying, taking road trips around Europe, made me feel even fucking worse about myself. And to solve my problems with being alone, well, I resolved to corn, video games, Netflix, and all that shit. I also hooked up with a lot of girls who don't actually care too much about me. So not only was I lonely, but I was also evolving backwards. For those who are in this lonely phase right now, I don't want you to go through the same mistakes that I did. So I'm going to list down the action steps I did to make this period of my life a blessing rather than a curse. If you could follow my advices, I can promise you that this period where you have to live your life alone for a while will be the peak moment of your life. The first solution or the first action step that you can take is to be in the light, not away from the light. Sounds a little bit funny. Let me explain. Picture these two scenarios for me. There are two guys, both in self-improvement. They have the same goals they want to achieve and the same struggles they want to destroy. The first person watches a lot of, those edgy self-improvement content with the sad music and the dark, filtered vibes. They spend their time in their room, in their dark-ass room, doing push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups. And they're listening to those sad ambient music because it fits well with the mood. And they talk to nobody because they believe that they are in ghost mode. The second guy, when he wakes up, he goes outside to the park and works out. Talks to people along the way. Then goes to a cafe to work on his business. Who do you think out of the two would fall back into temptations? Who do you think would suddenly feel burnout to do shit and just indulge in a jerk-off marathon? Probably the first guy in his dark and edgy room. My point is that negative energy should not be the fuel you use to achieve things. Now, motivation can come from something negative. For example, your girl cheats on you and you feel like shit. But it should not be what you rely on a day-to-day basis. Be more happy. Get more sunlight. Instead of doing meditation and push-ups in your room, go do it outside. For once, feel the natural air outside your bedroom. And stop listening to depressed music or those degenerate rap music. I would prefer you listening to Taylor Swift than this bullshit. And literally, force yourself to keep your head up and smile. It's that simple. Whenever you finish an assignment, work, or a gruesome training, just smile and be happy that you made progress. Hype yourself up. Or even if you're doing the same routine, let's say you're boiling an egg for breakfast, while waiting for the water to boil, fucking dance or something. That's the energy I want you to put in your day. No one cares if your singing sounds like a crippled duck or that you dance like a retard, like me. Just fucking do it. Enjoy it. Simple things like this is enough to brighten up your day. I've said nothing about having to change your routine at all. You will still need to live with a disciplined routine and reject parties and degeneracy if you want to achieve big things. All I'm asking is a change in your approach to your mission. Second advice, go out and do things with other people. I hated this advice before because I thought to myself, what's the point? Being with a lot of people will distract me from my goals. You probably thought the same thing as well, with all this ghost mode or monk mode trend going on, we always like to promote this idea of having to work alone, do everything alone because it's more private and we don't have to care about anyone else. And that has got to be the biggest mistakes that I've ever made. And it's true, sometimes being with a group of people can distract you from whatever you are doing. But if you can find people who has the same interests as you, same goals as you, holy shit. I can tell you right now that one session of working or training with the people of the same interests as you will 10 times the progress you can make on your goals. It's a much more happier experience when you get to meet people who are better than you at your craft and learn more from them, or teach people who aren't at your level just yet. And there's this friendly, competitive vibe around you all the time. Person A is grinding on his craft like a fucking mad dog inside his dark room for hours and hours, making mediocre progress, whereas person B is already miles ahead just by going outside, being around people with similar goals and learning from their experience as well. Which person do you want to be? Of course, the person B. So find a community. If you are into kickboxing, for example, find a kickboxing gym. If you are a musician, join a band. Hell, make a band. Most of the things we do for other people, or we do with other people. For example, sports you have to play as a team. Music you play with a band, or you play for other people to listen to. Even for creating content, you're making these videos for other people. So the best advice that you can get is from people who watches your content, plays music with you, plays sports with you. And the only way to get those advices is to go outside. So what I do is I would spend 60 to 70% of my time working on my craft alone. But for at least once a week or twice a week, I would go outside, go to these communities, and just express myself, teach others, and be humbled. So find these people who have the same interests as you. You have no excuse. And that's about it. I hope my advices in this video can make whatever phase you're going through in this journey easier and more enjoyable. So thanks for your time. A like and subscribe would mean a lot to me. Until next time.